It's 9 o'clock. Good morning. This is Broadcasting House. Hello, I'm Paddy O'Connell. We debate artificial intelligence as two technology giants can't agree if it's a threat, despite this man's warning.
I think the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race.
The vision of a future in which machines crush humans has long fueled science fiction. Here's a gratuitous clip from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, in which a bad robot is sent from the future to hunt and kill a teenage boy. We join the action as the boy and his mother are in a car with a good robot, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's learning slang.
Keep it under 65. We don't want to be pulled over.
Affirmative.
No. You gotta listen to the way people talk. You don't say affirmative. You say no problemo. And if you want to shine them on, it's hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's great. See, you're getting it.
No problemo.
James Cameron's film has a classic plot line with a good robot and a bad one. So why do real-life concerns about artificial intelligence, or AI, keep intruding? In 2015, the theoretical physicist Professor Stephen Hawking expressed concern.
I think the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. Once humans develop artificial intelligence, it would take off on its own and redesign itself at an ever-increasing rate. Humans, who are limited by slow biological evolution, couldn't compete and would be superseded.
Back in the present, two men who've made a fortune from technology have just fallen out in public over artificial intelligence. They are Elon Musk of SpaceX, Tesla cars, PayPal and more, and also Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. Let's meet two guests. Timandra Harkness is the author of Big Data, Does Size Matter? Hello, Timandra Harkness.
Hello.
And Stephen Cave is Executive Director of the Leverhulme Centre for the Future of Intelligence at Cambridge University. Hello, Stephen Cave.
Good morning, Paddy.
Let's go first to you, Timandra Harkness. Do our views of good robot and bad robot reflect our views of human nature?
I think all our views of artificial intelligence really tell us more about what we think of humans than of what the technology can actually do. And I think that's always been true, right back to the first automata and the first calculating machines. They came out of that tension between the Enlightenment view of people as free and free will, and the Enlightenment view of the world as something that was subject to science.
So if I think humans are good, I'm more likely to think that machines are good for us.
Broadly, yes, I think so. Although, of course, there is the flip side where if you think people are basically fallible and stupid and can't be relied on to make good decisions, then you might think, oh, a machine could come in literally as a deus ex machina and make better decisions.
Stephen Cave, when were doubts first expressed? I believe at the very birth of the computer.
That's right. Alan Turing, the figure who really founded computing as we know it and also laid the foundation for artificial intelligence, speculated about how these computers might be limitless in their capacity, or at least we don't know what their limits will be, and therefore potentially they could become more intelligent than us, and that could pose a threat to us.
And will you answer this question? Will the human ever be at risk from the machine, or never?
Humans are already at risk from machines. Powerful technologies have always presented us with both opportunities and, of course, risks and threats. And that's why in this spat between Zuckerberg and Musk, they're both right, and they're both making really important points. We do need to be able to harness the enormous benefits of this technology. It's going to help us to diagnose disease, for example, and live more efficiently and more prosperously. But at the same time, like other powerful technologies, it's going to pose real risks. And I think some of those risks are quite distinctive and quite new, because for the first time, our machines might be cleverer than we are.
If we look at very narrow things, then yes, I think machines already are cleverer than we are in many respects, or certainly cleverer than the average person. I couldn't possibly beat a computer at chess or Go or at mental arithmetic or any of those things. But if you think of the range of thinking that a human being does, the way we can slip easily between different modes of thought, and not only that, but we have our own purposes for thinking, we have our own sense of mission in life, I think the idea that a machine could reproduce all that is way, way off anywhere that's possible at the moment.
Well, let's just go back to what they said. Elon Musk said, I keep raising the alarm bell, but until people see robots going down the street killing people, they don't know how to react. Do you agree with him, either of you?
Well, I think there's something a bit ironic here in the way that Elon Musk is working on the self-driving car, and one of those already has killed somebody. So if anybody should be worrying about the effects, then yes, it is him.
So you do worry. Stephen Cave, do you?
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm really excited by what this technology can do, but at the same time, I'm worried. And I think Elon Musk is making a really good point that when we think of the bad computer, we have this image of the Terminator, but actually it's not a robot knocking our door down and coming in with a machine gun that we need to worry about. Yeah. It's things like becoming dependent upon these systems that we don't understand.
So actually, the chilling part for you is that you think our dependency, the human part of us, our dependency on the machine, that is our own undoing. It's not so much the machine, it's the desire in us to depend on them, Stephen.
I certainly think it's the way we're going to use these systems, AI, that's more dangerous than what it's going to do by itself. So yes, we might become dependent upon it. It might develop beyond what we can really understand. So then we're dependent upon systems that are opaque to us. And at the same time, this technology is going to have huge social and economic impacts. And again, that's what we're doing with this technology. If we're putting people out of jobs, truck drivers, for example, because Tesla trucks driving all the goods around. And we're going to need to manage those consequences.
It's funny. I asked the taxi driver who brought me in today what he thought about artificial intelligence, and he volunteered that. Hello, Stephen, by the way. He volunteered that. Actually, most people just work for the money, and he'd be perfectly happy if a robot could take over his job. So he could do something else, like go to the gym, which was a bit insulting for me. But I agree with you. I think the worrying part is when we hand over things that make judgment to machines, when we become so reliant on them to decide what we ought to do or to make everyday decisions for us. But again, I think that reflects the fact that we are losing trust in ourselves to make good decisions and even losing trust in experts to make expert decisions, and thinking that somehow computers can replace that.
You both agree, I think, on that. And finally, was the film any good? Did you like Terminator 2?
I'm afraid I haven't seen Terminator 2.
You've never seen it. Stephen?
I did find it quite thrilling.
Quite thrilling. OK. Review it for us one day. Timandra Harkness, author of Big Data Does Size Matter. Stephen Cave, Executive Director of the Leverhulme Centre at Cambridge University, both agreeing that the human is reflected in the machine.